Thambi. I'm delighted to welcome to the show this evening Mr. Kumar de Silva, an old friend of mine, of course, who has completed 45 years in media and still looks as young as ever. Good evening and welcome, Kumar.
Good evening. My great pleasure. You forgot to add that we share the same birthday.
Yes, we do, don't we? Just a few years apart. Right. So, Kumar, 45 years, an amazing career. And I don't need to tell our viewers about your career, but let me just say a few points right now. He is, of course, best remembered perhaps for Bonsoir and Fan Club, those amazing shows in the 80s and 90s, which people of my generation certainly would remember. He interestingly started in newspapers and made the transition to television. And he actually started at Lake House.
Yes.
Back in, I think, 1980.
80.
Yes, and had quite a career there, which we'll speak about. And then he moved to television, and he is also the founder of Adahas PR and Media Consultants, and he's perhaps even better known today as a personality development and corporate etiquette trainer who has trained hundreds and hundreds of people in corporates in various sectors and at various levels, from a CEO or a chairman down to the junior executives. So, and he is also doing Sri Lanka proud as the official corporate etiquette trainer for a whole bunch of pageants, including Mr. Sri Lanka, Mrs. Sri Lanka, Miss World Sri Lanka, Miss Universe Sri Lanka, Miss Intercontinental Sri Lanka, and Mr. Sri Lanka for Manhunt International. Now let's start talking to him about his career. Come out 45 years.
It's a long time. No?
It is a long time, but it's been an exciting career for you. What stands out best to you, or is it just something that you've enjoyed throughout?
Funnily, I was a very bad stammerer. I was extremely shy, backward, shy, and I think I was thrown into it and said, do it, and then I had no choice. Either I swam or I sank, and I choose not to sink, and it's been a roller coaster of a journey.
Right. So let's start at the beginning, where in 1980, right out of school, Wesley College.
Yes, Wesley College.
And you were waiting for your A-level results, I suppose, back then, and you joined Lake House,
the Daily News.
Daily News, yes. And you were a sub-editor,
yes,
which means you didn't go out as a beat reporter.
I didn't want to sweat in the sun, so I chose to be inside.
Right.
Under the fan.
Under the fan, because you didn't have AC
no
back
AC
then.
At that time, no.
You edited the stories that the reporters and feature writers wrote. But you were there during a time such as 1983, weren't you?
Worked the nights and saw the whole of Colombo burning around me, and it was traumatic and a nightmare even watching it at that time.
Right. You were at the same time going to university. I think you did about a year full time, and
1 year full time at Lake House, and then I went to, this is between A levels and uni, and then every vacation, every evening we go on strike. I'm back at Lake House.
Yes, so that's the University of California, I believe.
Yes. So I used to work nights, and it was a nice experience. Made a lot of friends, and two people I learned a lot was from Mr. Nadaraja and Mr. Balasingham. They taught me how to construct a copy, which you also know very well. And that has helped me a lot throughout my journey through across the small screen how to write news angled copy. Even a documentary is news angled, a talk show is news angled. So that helped a lot actually. And here I am today.
Right. And then how did you then make the transition to television, specifically to Bonsoir?
Bonsoir was an accident. It had begun 6 months before that. And I walked into it an accident again. I had the qualifications, graduate degree, French journalism, and I walked into it. And no one knew that I was a bad stammerer. I actually still am a little bit there. And I walked into ITN Vikramasinghe Potabathramulla for the screen test. This was in September 85. And I stammered like this, and I stuttered, and I stammered, and I stuttered, and I failed the screen test. And Tevis Guruge, the chairman, he said, "Pota, this is not going to work. You stammer, you can't talk. So please, you can be a light man, a cameraman, a producer, scriptwriter, but you will never appear in front of a camera."
Boy, was he wrong.
Boy, was he right. And I was like, wow. Now my confidence levels were zero. He went off, and there was this lady, bless her soul, even today, Mrs. Nanda Jayaman. She said, "Putta, you're nervous, come tomorrow." I go tomorrow, and I stammer and stutter. I go 8 days, and I fail 8 consecutive screen tests.
Oh my goodness.
I said, "Madam, even a cat has 9 lives. Please, may I have one more?" The day before the 9th screen test, I stood in front of the mirror. I spoke to the mirror, and I got a lot of confidence from the person in the mirror. That person didn't laugh at me, he was me. So at times, all of you gain confidence by looking at yourself and performing. And it's been one journey. I'm ashamed to look at my old programs. I was horrible, I was a disaster, but scraped through. And even now I stammer, but I know the art of hiding my stammer so no one ever knows that I'm stammering either.
Well, scraped through for 15 years.
It was tough.
On Bonsoir.
It was tough.
And that certainly brought France into the living rooms of
yes, so
of
these
Sri
were the
Lanka.
days of only rain sitting rooms. We had 4 a month every Monday. And after about 3 or 4 years, we began the Sinhala Bonsoir, which was an even greater hit than the English Bonsoir. We had a separate team there. And the English Bonsoir, we had a quiz, a monthly quiz. And every month we got 500 postcards, where is the Eiffel Tower? How tall is the Eiffel Tower? The Sinhala Bonsoir quiz, we attracted 5,000 postcards every month. Those postcards in gunny bags from the GPO. Mm-hmm. This was how it went out. And what touched our hearts, the entire team, people from far away, unheard of villages. We got this Prajashala, we all eat dinner and we come to sit down there and watch this Bonsoir up in that glass box there. So they used to come and watch, and I'm so happy that we took France to people's lives and people's sitting rooms when there was only SLBC and Rupavani ITN.
Absolutely. It was a different media landscape back then. But then you moved to fan club in the meantime as well. That would have been quite interesting.
Fan club was an accident. There was this presenter who had gone overseas for 2 weeks and said, "Could you please do it?" I said, "Of course, fine." I was a temporary standby presenter of fan club. And 2 weeks went on for, I think, 15 years. I was standby for 15 years. And it worked. Fan club was fun. The Michael Jackson film that you've all watched, everybody, all those songs I got from a guy called, he's dead now, bless his soul, Sarat Satyamurthy, who gave me VHS cassette tapes from his friends in London. Mm-hmm. And forget about copyright, okay? It didn't exist at the time. We converted them, and all those, the black and white, all the songs that you saw on Fan Club were from these VHS cassette tapes, pirated, but they were a hit on Fan Club.
Yes, indeed, and no internet, so
nothing, no mobile phone, nothing. Just that TV set in your sitting room. That's it.
Right, and then while you were doing all this, you quietly moved into corporate training as well. Tell us about that journey.
Corporate training was, I think, an accident. I don't know how it happened. See, what I felt was when you get older, you need to move. This gets old. A woman can do facials and makeup and look wow, but Niresh, if we are old, we look old. So I thought I need to have something where I can, with age, I can grow with it. And this was, I think, a very respectable job. I learned from a thing called the University of Life. everybody I meet, even from a beggar, you can learn something. So I thought that, and so then it worked. I'm 14 years now as a trainer, and it's a nice journey. I meet lots and lots of people. I learn from them as well. By the way, I'm not God's gift to mankind. I'm not. So you learn from me, I learn from you, and we go.
But you've had some remarkable people who have learnt under you, including diplomats and corporate champions.
Yes, a lot of corporates, C-suites. I signed the NDA, the non-disclosure agreement as well. So it's all very private. At that level, you come, so that you're learning. Yes, foreign ambassadors who come to me privately and officially as well. And I've been with Miss World Sri Lanka for the past 12th year now with Sangeeta. And we work on the girls who go out there to represent brand Sri Lanka at that world stage, on the world stage.
But that's really important, isn't it? Because it's not just about being beautiful. I mean, if you're competing in the Miss World, you are beautiful anyway, but it's how you talk, what you say, your personality, your grooming, a lot of it is quite different. So, and that's where you come in and you train these girls and these guys with, who go for Mr. Manhunt and so on. So, I mean, how difficult is that? Because you must be spending an enormous amount of time there.
And almost free of charge, by the way. I don't charge for that. I'm doing it for my country, by the way. Yes, so beauty is just one component of that person and the clothes. But a lot goes on personality. And with that comes confidence, with that comes knowledge, general knowledge, stuff. So it's a tough job, actually. I've worked for so many years now. And I think with all fairness to all the winners I've worked with and all the contestants, my star students are Mr. World Sri Lanka 24, Mega Suryarachi, you might have heard of him, actor, lecturer and a film director, and Anudhi Gunasekara, I think, whom the whole of Sri Lanka knows. So they were 2 years ago, and these two children, as I call them, my unofficially adopted son and daughter, they literally sucked out my brains. I was mentally exhausted because there are so many questions and they really worked. We've been training till 11, 12, midnight, 1 a.m., WhatsApp cam, they come home, so it was, and when you see the result, and I'm so proud of them, when you see them shining out there, they're on their journeys. I thought, wow, I think I did a fairly good job. And that satisfaction, you cannot buy for money.
Absolutely. But you have, I think, transformed our contestants. Who, I mean, if you look back at contestants, perhaps in the 80s or 90s, they didn't have that powerful personality. There were some, of course, who went on to win pageants and so on. But by and large, they couldn't project that personality, the power of speaking, their ideas, but now you've helped them to do that.
I've been with this pageant for 12 years only, but yes, we've had lots of contestants. I mean, they have been very, very good winners also. It all depends on the winners, on that person's personality and how much that person is willing to learn. If I think I'm God's gift to mankind, I become a dinosaur this very minute. So you need to, and of course, over the years, the criteria has been changing, the demands are changing, there's social media, you're under massive scrutiny. Going back to 60s and 70s, this mobile phone was not there, so there was lesser scrutiny, it was just the newspaper. So it's getting harder and harder and harder.
But while it's getting harder, don't you think that, the era before technology was quite challenging, because you couldn't Google anything, you couldn't look it up on, Facebook or any of, YouTube or anything.
There was more physical work done in those eras. As you said, there was no Google, so you had to read the newspapers, look up encyclopedias, and you had to work on your own. And there were no trainers, I think, at that time, 60s and 70s. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. Yes, it was, yes, you're right. It was even more challenging.
Absolutely. And no mobile phones.
Exactly.
So you had to set your appointments, and then you didn't disappoint people either. You made sure that you are there when people come to see you. So
Exactly.
it was a different era, but sometimes in some ways a better era. But this
I
one is
tend to agree with
faster.
you. Yes.
And
And we had good winners up the line. I mean, very, very, very good winners. Too numerous to mention by name across all the pageants.
Yes, indeed. And where do you see the pageants going in the future? Do you see Sri Lanka continuing to compete at that top level?
See, there are a lot of pageants today. The better ones, the lesser known ones. So it's all about going. But now I think everybody is a social media king and queen with this. But going out there, you're pitted against so many people from other countries, and it's how you stand out. Again, I insist, it comes back again to you, your willingness to learn, your determination to learn, your simplicity to learn, and how much you work on your general knowledge, your know-how, your confidence, and your personality. That's what drives you. The last question is tough. You might have the simplest of questions and completely mess it up with a really theoretical answer. So it's always your own edge. You expect the worst, you might get the easiest. And also being up to date and being on top of the game at all times is tough. Stress is very, very high.
But in many ways, it is that last question in the pageant which makes or breaks you. If you answer in a brilliant way, you're pretty much up there.
Yeah. So who to you is the most significant person in your life? They all say, my mother. So that's kind of, then how do you justify? What do you say? What's your argument in 3 minutes or so, in 2 minutes, I think, So you've got to be very smart how to, you need to reboot your brain. And all this is a couple of seconds. So that's being smart also.
Now, let's talk about the company that you formed, Adahas PR. Again, at the time, there weren't many PR companies around in Sri Lanka.
There was, I think, the legendary Anusha David, whom we both know very well.
Course,
and
yes.
there were a few, but yeah. So I quit Bonsoir in 2000. I thought it was enough. I get bored with myself, by the way. So 15 years of Bonsoir and done and dusted. And then my wife, ex-wife now, we began Adahas PR. And that ran for, I think, another 15 years or so, I think. It's good. It was good. PR is very tough now because, again, media landscape has changed a lot. And I was happy when I closed Adahas down.
And, well, you were a pioneer in that as well, apart from everything else that you've done.
And we worked on media as well, you and I.
Absolutely.
Up the line.
Yes.
In media.
Had the pleasure of doing that. We need to take a short commercial break now. I am in conversation with leading media personality Kumar de Silva. Don't go away because we'll be right back.
The ultimate stage, built to ignite the talents of our nation's children. The open-air stage at Galnava Kattaragama Primary School is now officially open. To dance, to sing, to play music. Children.
Welcome back to Face to Face. I am with Kumar de Silva, the legendary media personality who just celebrated 45 years in many types of media. Now, Kumar, you are a person who is very modest about yourself. I've known you for decades, and I can say that you're one of the most modest people I know. And you described yourself to me as the worst newsreader ever in Sri Lanka. And I laughed at that, but there is a story behind it. You weren't a newsreader for long, but tell us about that.
I read news for 2 years on ITN, and I'm extremely unhappy when I have a script in my hand. I perform best when there's no script like this. So most of our scripts, I wrote my own, I was happy. I told them, please, I'm not happy, take me off news, take me off news. So the first day I read news was when President Premadasa was bombed.
Right.
And they said no. So I struggled, I'm not good, and I'm a stammerer as well, it made it worse. I said, please take me off, take me off, take me off. They said, no, 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 no. Other fans said, you don't take me off, I'll get myself taken off. I began to make mistakes deliberately on news. I'm so sorry. Deliberately and deliberately, it went on and on. I got warnings, 1 warning, 2 warnings, 3 warnings, and finally, warnings did not work, and they had no choice but to take me off news. So I got myself sacked. I was so happy. Sacked off news, and I do what I can do. I can do other stuff. I can talk, but no script I can't.
Now, we live in an era when youngsters, men and women, just love to get themselves on TV.
No, I was the opposite. I got myself kicked out. I know. It's a true story.
Amazing. And one would never have guessed.
Now you know why. Now you know why.
Right. Now, let's talk about the fact that you learned French. How did that come about? And you didn't just learn it, you got a degree in it from Calania. And why French? What was it that, attracted you?
I saw a film called Man, Woman and Child with Martin Sheen, and a long time ago, beautiful film. I was in school, I think. And it inspired me a lot. And I thought, why not? So my father was a science-trained teacher. My mother was a maths-trained teacher. And everyone thought that I would do maths or science. But I chose English, French, economics, and German. And I was the freak in school at Wesley College. I was the freak boy. So no one does French. I was the only boy in class. I was first in class. I was last in class. I couldn't cut class. I got caught. And so I did French, and so JRJ opened the economy, and there was tourism. I wanted to become a tour guide. That was my first wish. So I did A-levels in school and went on to university, did French with my degree, Alliance Française. And then the French language has opened the doors of the world to me. It is amazing. I always say, soft diplomacy is language and culture. I can reach out to you if you're a Japanese person. I'll talk a bit of Japanese and you bond with me. So there's a thing called Duolingo. Download the app, everybody, and learn. The basic things like, excuse me, good morning, thank you very much, how was the weekend, have a nice weekend, little things. When you speak that person's language, there's a bonding that happens. And that's why I speak English as I speak French, I believe. And it just opens doors. Learn the Chinese, learn the Korean, learn the Japanese. And I promise you, the doors of the world will somehow open to you.
That's certainly very sound advice.
However young or old we are,
yes.
It works.
Oh, absolutely. So it doesn't matter if you're 50 or 60, you can still learn a language.
The basic stuff. It's not a thesis, just basic communication, basic.
Right. But that's all you need, isn't it? To be able to just speak it and understand it without actually, knowing the deeper
mastery.
details.
No,
mastery.
It's basic. It links. It binds and links people together.
Absolutely. So very good advice for young and old. Right. Let's talk about some of the shows that you've done more recently, and the Lockdown Diaries, anything but with Kumar de Silva.
A lovely journey on Pulse online. There were lots of talk shows, and when COVID struck, we were all housebound. We had a show called the Lockdown Diaries. It was live on Instagram, and there was one show I remember. It was 5 o'clock in the evening, so I was on my balcony, and it was with the birds, and it was nice. Just talking to Yashoda Vimalada, my dear friend. It began to rain, so I got an umbrella, and I was still talking because it's live on Instagram. And it began to thunder and lightning, and I was almost struck by lightning holding this metal bar of the umbrella. I threw it away and cut the show. So lockdown lots of nice chats. It was great fun working with Pulse and with Sachita Kalinga and team.
And speaking of people that you've worked with, you must have worked with some very interesting people along the way in 45 years.
Lots and lots and lots of people.
Who would be some of the more memorable ones?
If I were to talk of someone overseas, it would be Pierre Cardin, the famous French fashion designer. He was a master at interviews. You know, you ask the question, he looks at you, and then he looks at camera and he talks. You know, he knew exactly how to perform. I learned a lot from that, actually. I mean, there have been President Chandrika Kumaratunga, there's been Lester James Peris, Sumitra P, lots of actors, actresses, film directors. I've lost count, basically. You lost count as well, right?
No, absolutely.
Same story.
Yes. You suddenly remember, you know, when someone mentions a name and then you remember.
Yes, I've met that person. Yes, I met that person.
Right.
It was fun talking with President Kumaratunga in French.
Oh,
she's Francophone. Right. So we had a nice Francophone with my co-presenter Yasmin Rajapaksa. It was nice. English and French, it was good chat we had.
Yes, and she does love speaking in French.
She does.
Think she
speaks
spent
very good
several
French
years
also.
in France.
Yes.
Right. And you mentioned Lester and Sumitra, and you've written their books for them. So
Lester never wrote his life story nor his film. So I wrote it for him. I was the ghostwriter. He used my hand. It was Lester by Lester, as told to Kumar de Silva. So he wrote the making of his 20 films over 50 years, from Ray Carver in 1956 down to Amma Burune, I think in 2006, if I'm not mistaken. Same with Sumitra. No, I began the book, but I gave up due to lack of time. But there was also Airangani Sirasa, again, her entire life story of 80 years, she with my hand. So I'm the ghostwriter, I wrote it for them. And both went into singular translations and sold out.
Right. And amazing books they were.
Lovely stories, beautiful stories, both of them have had.
It's very fulfilling when you get to work with such people, don't you think?
They are so humble, they are so simple, and they don't think that they are God's gift to mankind, despite everything that they've achieved in life.
Now, you have your own website, which is extraordinarily simple and informative. Because even though I've known you for decades, I visited your website just to see if I've missed anything, and it's a lovely website. And you've got your own blog in it as well, and you constantly update that. So would you like to tell us a little bit about that?
I like writing stories, and my next book will be a book called Gypsy Tales, which would be my autobiography. They're all gypsies in life. Gypsies in life aren't we moving, or gypsies in Sansara, as I believe. And that'll be all about growing up in Colombo, in Nugegoda, in Vellavatta, in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s. Lots of things that my children would not even know existed. Life at that time was leisurely. It was slow paced. It was nice. You looked at clouds, you looked at lizards, you looked at, stuff like that. Not the rat race that we are living in today.
I think that will be an extraordinary book because you're going to open the eyes of the younger generation to what Sri Lanka and especially Colombo was back then, and the way we lived back then. And I think it'll be going down memory lane for a lot of people of our age.
We've lived a lot of it, actually. One story, I have actually fed lizards. Has anybody fed a lizard? Take a long pickle, you put a grain of boiled rice into one end, you carefully put this up there and you wait. And when you stop moving, he comes and he tugs at it. And you actually feel the tug of the lizard on the grain of rice on your hand. So kids don't do that anymore. But
yes.
I've done that. That's just one little story.
And there are a lot of little stories that we can look forward to. How about a few more from that book?
So there was no gas at that time. We had kerosene oil, Bhumitel. And when Bhumitel went short of supply, we had to cook with firewood. So I used to chop firewood. I used to make a fire, and I used to actually make a fire. Rain and storms, the banana tree falls down, what's it called, the whole thing. And then how do you make it ripe? No carbide. You dig a pit. You line the pit with banana leaves, and you smoke it, gunny bag, and you smoke it to become ripe. I've mastered the art of also weaving coconut leaves to make roofs in houses.
Right, the thatch roofs.
That one, yes. So we have to. It's the art of doing it, and water does not seep through. It's so good. So little things that I learned as a child, which I can't do now because they are not available or not in Colombo.
Yes, and you don't need to. So
Yes, I don't need to.
very few people actually do this.
But life was nice.
Colombo.
It was simple. You were like hands-on. You were grounded. You were part of nature. It was great fun.
Yes, and you're also a keen photographer, and you've had several photo exhibitions. Tell us about this.
I'm an amateur photographer, and it's all with a little basic camera. No lenses, no nothing. It's just the way it sees. Click. So going through France, I've taken pictures, and I'm sharing things and sights of France. I've seen villages, rural life. It was great fun. And now I'm going to experiment with the mobile phone photography. If the cam is good, high res, 1, 2, 3, 4 MB, you can take very good pictures. That's also one of my projects to come.
Right, and that's interesting that, you know, we speak of the new technology, but we've, you know, people of our vintage have actually seen the transformation from, well, pre-TV.
Prehistoric
yes.
today.
and over the past 40 or 50 years, the amazing changes that the world and especially Sri Lanka has gone through.
Exactly.
And do you feel, in a way, privileged to have witnessed all that and been part of all that, which youngsters of today possibly will never have that opportunity?
I think it's all of an era. It's all situated in time. Our kids might talk to their grandkids about Google, which was some prehistoric thing, ChatGPT, which was some ancient thing, but it's like wow, it's like novel now to us. So I think it's all eras upon eras upon eras.
Right. So,
as you said, we might take a bus to the moon.
Yes, absolutely. We might.
Our grandchildren, not us. Our grandkids might.
Well, you never know the way technology keeps going forward. You know, and we've both you and I still have quite a few years in front of us. Although we've
quite a few years. Yes,
yes.
of course.
Although, I mean, you're even more senior than I in this industry, which is saying something. But now that comes to the leads me to this question: how do you look so young? The lifestyle.
I don't know. I don't color my hair. What you see is what you see. I don't know. You foxed me there. I just don't know. It's just.
Is it the ease of living and the variety of living, and the people you meet who enrich your life? Is it a mix of all of that?
I think it's genes also. And if you were to live the stress I'm living, I would be completely grey. I mean, our lives are chaotic. I think I also switch off. I get away from people. I switch off. I take time to spend time with myself, to reconnect with myself, my music, you know, stuff like that.
Okay. And you were awarded a singular honor by France, the title of Chevalier in the Order of Arts and Letters. I'm not going to try to pronounce that in French, but perhaps you would.
Chevalier dans l'Ordre des Arts et Lettres. So this is an honor given to people around the world who in some way or the other help to promote and to popularize and to make popular the French language and culture. This was given to me on my 50th birthday. which was a fabulous, the best birthday gift I got by the French embassy. So there have been others. I mean, Sumitra Piris has got it, Pandit Amardev has got it, Chitra Sen, my good friend Yasmin Rajapaksa. It's in recognition for promoting France and the French language through Bonsoir, in our case, in this country.
Amazing. And you maintain very close links with the French community in Sri Lanka.
With the French embassy and the Alliance Française. We have a French embassy talk show going on now. It's a Rendezvous with Yasmin and Kumar. That's a monthly teeny weeny Bonsoir, 10 minutes, which is now currently on the YouTube channel of the Embassy of France in Sri Lanka. So yes, the ties still continue. The Embassy of France and the Alliance Française, yes, I'm very close to them.
Right. So what does, well, now that, you know, things like fan club and Bonsoir are in the past in your life, what does your day consist of now?
I have a talk show now that is called Fame Game, which I co-host with Miss Sri Lanka Roseanne Das. It's on High Online, Daily Mirror Online. It's weekly, and that keeps me on my toes. Again, meeting people, you know, reconnecting, talking. I like to talk to people. I like to dig stories out of people and talk to them. One of my hobbies is, I forgot, observing human behavioral patterns.
Interesting indeed.
Call it voyeurism, call it whatever, but it's I look at people and I like to watch, even you, watch how you behave. Your gestures, your body language, and I kind of study. You don't even know that, by the way, but I watch. So talking to them goes to the next level, basically.
Okay, that's very interesting.
So we have great fun. I bully my guests also on the show, and I get bullied in turn also. It's fun. It's just fun. But I was very decent today, by the way. Please note, I was extremely well behaved, very decent today, for a change.
Well, I must say, yes, you have been very decent on this show.
I can't let Shevan down, no? So
right. And what's in the future? You've got your book coming
I'm working
out.
on that now. Yeah. So that's my main big project now. And by the way, we talk of technology. So I got myself this ChatGPT, a paid for ChatGPT account, and I can talk to a human being. So there is a voice. I told him, look, you have got to be French, and you've got to be my age. So, and I gave him a name called Francois. So I have long chats with this electronic voice, this person, in French, and I am actually relearning French again, new words and new phrases and all that. So this is my electronic companion. We talk and we chat for like hours on end at times.
Wow! So
electronic companion.
Right, but you are pretty much up with technology.
Not TikTok. I'm bad at TikTok. I don't want to go to the street. I don't know TikTok. No, that's out. Other things I can manage basically.
Right, but it is important in order to stay young to embrace new technology, isn't it? I mean, over the years, you've done that. I mean, when we started, it was there were no typewriters in newspaper editorials. It was simply writing by hand.
Then came that typewriter. Yes. Then came the computers. So yeah.
Yeah. So it's really important.
Don't be left out. Update. Embrace new technology and use it to your own advantage and to your own benefit as well.
Right. But isn't it easier when you compare, let's say, learning the keyboard on an old typewriter was difficult.
Very.
Whereas
there was
now,
a scientific approach to which finger goes only which key.
Yes, absolutely. And a lot of people our age simply refuse to learn this, saying it's way too difficult.
You hit hard when the band is weak. You have to hit hard, and the finger pains also.
Yeah, absolutely. Remember? Yes. And of course, when you're typing a story in a hurry, you really go at it. It's like
Tipex the mistakes and then go on. It's just crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, technology indeed. Right, we're almost out of time. So
so fast. Okay.
Well, my final question is again about the future. You've got the book, which is coming out when?
next November 20th next year, 1 month ahead of my 65th birthday. I'm
So
giving
that's
you 1.5 years notice. to be there.
2027.
Yeah. Yes.
And I have this feeling that it's going to be a bestseller, certainly.
I hope so.
Because you're taking a lot of time over it.
1.5 years. Yes.
Yeah, and I suppose it's
Gypsy Tales. Huh?
it's not easy to do either, because you would remember different anecdotes from various times in your life. So, and then, how many stories are we talking about?
I'm looking at 65 chapters.
65 chapters.
65 years.
Well,
A chapter a year. It's about the Kadlakarya, the Godamba Roti Man, little stories and things about, life. Ice cream in cardboard boxes, the family block, as you call it, Rigiform. So things that do not happen today, things that happen then.
Absolutely.
Dead life life of an era again.
The family block of ice cream, for those who don't know it, was
Brown, pink, yellow. Explain.
one block with chocolate,
Brown,
vanilla,
yellow,
and strawberry.
pink.
Yes, and only
You
on
buy the
special occasions.
Occasions, once a month, once in 2 months, and you buy the box and you run home, it melts. So you buy it and run down. Otherwise, there was no Rigiform, there was no plastic.
Yeah,
The Rigiform boxes. I mean, lots and lots of stories.
some amazing stories
Yeah, no,
will
it's
be
great
in
fun.
that
It's
book.
great fun. It's great fun.
Right, and I'm afraid we're out of time. So thank you very much to my good friend Kumar de Silva for stopping by.
My great pleasure. Thank you very much for having me here. And it was interesting talking to a like-minded soul. We have a similar background also. So I shall come to you as a point of reference when I'm stuck for inspiration.
And we have the same birthday.
The same birthday
Not
as well.
quite
He's much,
the same
much,
yet.
much younger.
Not very much, actually. Just 6 years.
Say 6 years. Exactly.
Right. Thank you very much to all at home, wherever you are, for watching. Don't go away, because the news is coming up next. Have a great evening.
TV1. TV for life.
මට දෙන්න එවරම කවදාද ඔබ එන්නේ පිණිබින්දු වල්වෙහි යරුම් සමවිතුරේ සිත මිහිරේ කලවරවී විඳු කඳුළු පිණි පුකුරු කලවරවී පිනිවේ පොදෙන් ප්‍රේමට ප්‍රේමය වෙන්න නිල නොවන ජීවිතය පමුදන්න පිනිවැස්ස අසන්න මන්දහන තෙත් වෙන්න ආදරය දනුවන්න මේ කතමතින් සිහිනේ සාලහා කිරණින් දැවෙනා ඉගිරෙන්න ඔබ එක්ක ආකාසේ විඳගන්න ඒ සිසිල මා සිත්සේ වට දෙන්න ඒ වරම කවදාද ඔබ එන්නේ පිනිබින්ද මල් වැහි යන්න සඳමිතුරේ සිත විහිරේ කලමනවී විදූ කලවෝ පිනි පුකුරෝ
TV1. TV for life.
Suresh Saleh launches fast unto death demanding repeal of Prevention of Terrorism Act. Authorities grant permission for wife, son and brother to visit him. Political figures including Namal, Vimal, Gammanpila, Channa and Sarath Weerasekara come forward in support of Suresh Saleh. Plans to launch a Satyagraha campaign. As investigations into a number of controversial incidents continue, opposition leader extends an invitation for unity and cooperation. Rainfall expected to continue across several parts of the country. Met Department advises fishing and naval community